Welcome to Hashtag Rising Artists, a series where we introduce you to brand new artists. Who knows? They might end up on your playlist. I'm your host, Taylor Oren. Let's get started, shall we? All right. So, like I start pretty much all my interviews, who are you?
Oh man. As an artist, um, I am Soundr. That's my name. I got my start writing EDM top lines and now have transitioned into working on my own project, which was always the goal. EDM kind of fell into my lap. It was never a plan. Um, but yeah, my project is very alternative, emo, I guess. As a human being, I am a vegetarian. I love plants. I love hiking. Um, Big on mental health. Yeah.
I can definitely see that you're obsessed with plants. Oh my gosh, I love the variety that you have behind you already.
Yeah, they're doing good. We had a couple of casualties when I moved last year, but they're coming back.
Gosh, I have literally about I want to say about 2 years ago, I bought a bunch of plants from IKEA. Out of the two, my sister's cat ate two of them. Or no, I lied. I have three. Out of the three, two of them have been ate by my sister's cat, and I have one still alive. I don't know how he's alive.
Yeah, my
And,
my cat loves the like big plant right here.
oh yeah, that
She
one.
loves to eat it. All of the bottom leaves are like there's like little bite marks in it. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
ooh.
obnoxious. Yeah, she's not
I'll
allowed
catch
in
her.
there.
Gosh, I can catch my sister's cat just jumping onto the shelf, and I can see her munching away. I'm like, are you kidding? It's just now healed.
They just came back. Leave it
It
alone.
just grew.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
wow, the collection that you have is fantastic. Oh my goodness.
Thank
All
you.
right. So you made the switch from EDM to this like emo pop. How are you feeling in terms of the transition wise? Because that's a totally different realm.
Yeah. Like I was saying, this kind of solo route has was always my goal. And top lining and dance music definitely is a special place in my heart, and I'm so grateful for it because it kind of jump started my career and also um, helped me learn a lot about the industry and how to work with people and just like the inner workings and even contracts and stuff like
Yeah.
that you kind of have to be thrown into it to learn. But in doing top lines for other people, there's not as much room for self-expression. And I don't mean to say that there's like not pieces of myself in those top lines because there definitely are. But in my own project now, I'm able to explore motifs and themes and lyrics and sounds that are not as welcome in the dance music space. So I feel like I've stepped into a realm where it's so much more free. You know, I'm not in a box of like, this is what this needs to sound like. We're pleasing a client, if you will.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, my project now, I pretty much can just make whatever I feel like.
That sounds really great. I love the power of now being able to control yourself and be able to do the fun
Yeah,
stuff that you want to do. Now
yeah.
you now you have a new song out right now. Oh well, actually, cross out. I lied. Well, wait, no, because I'm gonna try to get this out by Friday. You have a new song out right now. Right now. Uh, Mania. How? Tell me about the song.
Yeah, Mania is actually one of my favorites that we've done. I started working with my producer Stetson in Salt Lake last April-ish. And this song, sorry, our process usually was I'd have like a line or two written. I'd have an idea of how I wanted the song to sound or maybe like a melody, and then go into the studio and we'd kind of compose and write everything together. A very collaborative process, which I'm so grateful for. But Mania was very different in that I had really bad insomnia one night and was kind of angsty about a situation and um, wrote the hook melody and the hook lyrics. And then the next morning got up and I wrote the whole vocal um, kind of by myself singing it. And then I took it to him and he did the instrumental. So it was really interesting to see how well the two pieces came together when we were writing it completely separate. And the instrumental and the vocal production and the work that he did on it matches flawlessly everything that I had envisioned for the song and even past what I ever could have imagined for the song. It has like grit to it, which was very important to me. Um, yeah, yeah, it's also a different side of kind of mental health struggles that I have not fully gone into in music yet. So that was also an interesting experience.
Well, I had the chance to be able to listen to it, and it was honestly one of my favorites that I've listened to out of
Thank
the
you.
multiple people I've interviewed. Uh,
Thank you.
it's me because I'm going through a lot of the same situation,
Yeah.
what it feels like the same situations, and it's very relatable. I love the flow of it. So hearing the idea that you weren't technically behind the scenes in terms of the composition, is that correct?
So I was
Or
there when we wrote it,
okay, in
but
terms of the instrumental part, I should say.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
and the instrumental, I'm always in the studio with Stetson when we're working on it. But he did, I mean, he took it and ran with it in a really great way. And for me, it was just like, it actually, interestingly enough, was like, I think this needs more grunge. I think this needs more grit to it. I think that this needs to just drive really hard. And I think you can hear that in the hook, where the beginning of it is very like pop feeling, and then there's a sudden shift where you feel the angst and the anger and frustration that you experience, that people experience when you are in a situation like this. And
oh yeah,
yeah.
but it's definitely one of my favorites. I love the flow of it. Um, I am curious because with this song being more of a mental health kind of remindance, um, how are you how are you feeling in terms of like over I'm not saying like overcoming it, but releasing this out to the public?
That is such an interesting question. I'm feeling a lot of things about it for sure. With releasing my own project, there's obviously another level of accountability and also self-imposed pressure of I want things to be amazing. Um, and I think they are. I love my project. I am proud of my project, but this song specifically is hard to be releasing because this is a conversation I haven't had outwardly before. I've talked to my therapist about it, but
Yeah.
I haven't had conversations like this. But I think it's so important. I think it's very important that people dive into vulnerability and dive into being human. And when you are vulnerable or somebody else is vulnerable, it kind of gives more people permission, if you will, or
Yeah.
courage to do the same. And I am so confident, unfortunately, that I am not the only one that has gone through these positions. So right now I'm balancing the like anxiety of releasing this song and nerves of releasing this song with also just how thankful and fortunate I am to be in a position to write music that means something to me and that other people can connect with.
Oh, that's actually a really beautiful response. Wow.
Thanks.
Wow. All right. So you got the song coming out on Friday. You also had a previous song came out back in June. No control. Where is
Yeah,
it? Or is it
yeah,
called to control? Um,
it is.
I was listening to that one too on the way back home from my work. Um, so
Yeah.
how do you feel with the comparison of those two songs?
Both are expressions of struggles with mental health, which is going to be a constant motif in my project,
Okay.
just because it's something I'm so passionate about and something
Yeah.
that I deal with. But I do think that they are very contrasting sonically. Control is very acoustic based, it's very gripping emotionally. And Mania is just gritty. It's you can feel the angst to
Oh
it.
yeah. So I went.
So I think it's
Gosh.
a cool duality of like releasing one that's like, oh, all in the feels, and then the second one to follow up is just angsty.
because that's exactly honest how I felt. I was just like, oh, all right. I might have to pull over on the side of the road and cry for half a moment.
Yeah.
And then the
Yeah.
second one, I'm like, maybe not. Okay. Oh,
Like,
it
yeah,
was,
you're like, I'm driving, I'm getting home. Yeah.
yeah, it's like, I gotta get there. All right, all right.
Yeah.
You have been in the EDM realm and transition. So with the transition uh, to the new realm, to the new realm that is new you, how do you
Yeah.
feel about your past self in
It's
terms of like,
actually it's so interesting that you asked that because that was a topic in my last counseling session last
oh
week.
no,
um,
therapy session over here?
I know, right? Let's get into it. Um, it's something that, to be completely honest, that I am still my past self in terms of as a whole, not just with music, but my past self. I have such a high hold high standards of myself, so it's something that I'm still learning how to do in letting myself be imperfect and letting myself grow and listening to old music. I have to actively have a conversation with myself and be like, yeah, you were 20 years old, 19 years old. Of course, it doesn't sound like what
Yeah,
it sounds like now. Um, but I think it's also an incredible thing. There's that duality of like, I want to be perfect and I wanted my music from the jump when I was 13 years old to sound like it does now. But it's also such a beautiful progression. Like I said, having dance music kind of fall into my lap, like what a blessing, what a fortunate thing
yeah,
to be able to learn and also be professionally doing something while you're learning and be building your career while you're learning. I'm very, very grateful for the progression and like this growth and story that it has given me.
that was really nice. That I honestly now I feel definitely making. I want to try to step away from therapy session just so that you feel a little bit more relaxed. Oh my gosh, I didn't
Yeah.
know. I realized I was hitting me with these hard questions. Oh wow.
No, it's good. I am happy to be open about everything.
That's good though. That's good. And then the time of current music, with gosh, Porter Robinson's music right now is all about his struggles and then you go from like
Yeah.
him to Bo Burnham with his documentary slash comedy show. Uh,
Yeah.
so it's definitely the best time period to be comfortable with yourself.
Yeah, I think COVID, as horrible as that time period has been and still is in so
Oh
many
yeah,
ways, I think it also forced a lot of us to sit with ourselves and actually not be distracted from what we're feeling for a little bit and maybe start to process some of those things and begin to be okay with being vulnerable. And the art, as you said, absolutely is reflecting that, which is amazing.
yeah. It's fantastic. It's kind of like the birth of a renaissance of humanity in a way.
It is. It is. And I'm very interested to see too how that continues, with new music being released and new artists coming out. And like we were saying earlier, where one person being vulnerable and expressing something or releasing a song that's just like, wow, I can't
Yeah.
believe you said that in a song or opened up like that in a song, encourages other people to do the same. And I absolutely am here for it and think it's so beautiful.
Gosh. And I hope everyone's excited to hear your song too.
I
Because,
hope so too.
yeah, oh my
I'm
gosh.
very excited about it. Yes.
I hope people are going to be like, yeah, but did you listen to Soundr? I mean, come on, you have to. But you haven't seen
Yeah.
it yet? So I'm curious.
Yes.
So we got the new song coming out on Friday. Well, are we planning on having a music video coming out soon for this song?
For Mania, I actually think that we're going to go a different route. I
Ooh,
think that we are going to do probably something more acoustic. Um,
okay.
I think it would be really cool to have that duality of a hard hitting song and then strip it down and just have it be just so raw and emotional. I think it would be really cool.
Um, Sounds fantastic, actually. I love that. Like it might sound even more personal in a way for the
Yeah.
audience, which I think I definitely agree with you on that.
Yeah, I think so too. I
All
haven't
right.
haven't started working on it yet, but in my head it sounds cool, so
It sounds good to me too, so I'm down for
perfect.
it.
Perfect. As long as we got the approval.
All right. Now we're going to step away from all these sad talk and therapy session. I have fun cards here. Fun, well, cross out
All
maybe two
right.
of them. I have like a bunch of these little fun conversation cards for the fans, friends, and family who
Nice.
want to get to know you just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Uh, every time I ask this question, I'm hoping that someone's going to quote it in a way that it will make me laugh. The first
Oh
question I
gosh,
have
no
is,
pressure.
it's a random movie quote that I think of every time, and I'm just so curious if anyone's going to use it. Describe your perfect day.
Okay. My perfect day. Oh man, this is probably so boring to so many
Okay, all
people.
right. No?
I love plant shopping. Is like one of my happy things. So I think my perfect day would be waking up slow without an alarm, having a really awesome cappuccino, going plant shopping. Hopefully it's raining. That would be just icing on the cake. Um, and then probably just hanging out with people that I care about, with somebody that I love, and watching anime or scary movies, and probably some sushi somewhere in there.
Ooh,
But just very, very low key. I think I don't let myself have low energy days enough and just exist. So I think that would be my ideal day.
honestly, that sounds fantastic. I'm curious to know, if you mention it, what's your current anime that you're watching?
Oh my gosh, I just finished Tokyo Ghoul,
Oh my
and it
gosh.
is my so I'm very new to the anime
Okay, so
game.
I
I
was gonna
am
say, I'm
very
like,
new.
that's a classic to me in my head. All right, all right.
Yes, I'm very new to it. So I watched Death Note originally last year. I actually got COVID, and that was one of the things that
All
I
right.
ended up binging and loved it. It was like my favorite thing. And then somebody was like, "You gotta watch Tokyo Ghoul. I think it's gonna beat Death Note," and it absolutely did. By far, it's like my obsession right now, for sure.
Gosh, my current obsession is Food Wars.
Good. Oh, I just saw that pop up on my recommended. Is it good?
Yes. Oh, it's fantastic. It's
Okay,
raunchy. So, like,
perfect.
heads up.
All right, I'm excited
And
to watch it.
honestly, you can make a drinking game out of it. Anytime they say the word unami, I swear you would
Yeah,
pass out
that's
by the end of the episode.
fun. Everybody would be dead. That's great.
Everyone would be gone.
Yeah,
But
that's
it's
awesome.
it's it's a fun one to watch, especially if you just want to like laid back.
Yeah, I'll have to add that to my list. I haven't seen very many. I'm also watching Attack on Titan right now, which is fabulous.
Yeah.
Kind of going through all of the classics, trying to figure out which what I like.
Okay. Well, have you stepped into the world of Orion? Oh, is it Orion High School or Host Club? Oh my God, I'm messing it up. I'm gonna ruin. Fans are gonna come after me. Orion High Host Club.
No, I haven't.
Oh no. Okay. All right. Definitely have to put that on your list. It's a
Okay,
classic. That's the one
deal.
classic I can always recommend people and be like, all right, here's your intro. It's cute.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you're already in the
I
realm
don't.
of more darker stuff. And I'm like, oh, here's Food Wars and here's a host club. I'm like,
Yeah,
I could be over here be like
I
Sailor Moon and
right. I love the horror genre. Just everything scary, everything spooky. Halloween's like one of my favorite things.
oh, all right.
Scary movies are my favorite. So having that crossover between like anime and horror is so great. I love it so
Oh
much.
yeah. Gosh. So then what would be your current like your go-to horror movie?
That's such a good question. I always say I love scary movies, and then someone asks me that, and I don't have an answer.
Oh, it's all right.
Um, so my favorite of all time is Silent Hill. The first and second one. Second one's kind of not as good, but the first one's a classic. I love the Scream, original Scream. Um, Cabin in the Woods is awesome.
Yeah, that one's fantastic.
Yeah, we went and saw that one in the theater, and I was just like, oh my gosh. It takes that turn, and you're just like, yes. What else? I think the Sinister movies are absolutely horrifying.
Oh yeah. Oh my
They
gosh.
are
That had me
terrifying.
nightmares for 2 days, I think. 2 to 3 days, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I never have bad dreams from movies, and that one absolutely destroyed me. Especially if you have siblings. Nope.
Yes. I'm surrounded by them. So I definitely agree
Like,
with you
nope.
on that.
Like, yeah, you're gonna kill me in my sleep. Awesome. Can't wait.
All All right, so the first one I have on here. A TV show you wouldn't want to have a sex dream about.
Ooh, that is such a good question.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Oh gosh. I'll just say the one TV show that I hate so much, Family Guy.
Oh, why? I'm
Oh,
not
I
against it. I
know
agree with you on that.
it's so unpopular opinion. I just can't stand that show. I don't know why. I have a hard time with comedy sometimes. Like makes me want to climb inside my own skin because I just yeah, the uncomfortable, awkward situations sometimes just kill me.
Is it that like awkward silence bit where you're like, should I be laughing at this, or the like,
And everyone around you's laughing and you're like, this is
yeah,
not what's wrong with you people? Yeah, not a fan.
definitely agree with you on that. I gosh, there's so many
Any of
random.
their yeah, I think to go back to that question, any of the like romantic scenes in that show that they try to yeah, nope.
Yes.
I
Ooh,
just don't want to relive it.
I just
I'm good.
Quagmire. Ooh, yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah,
do it.
see?
Yeah, yeah. All
I'm
right,
done.
definitely agree with you there. Oh my gosh, that's a perfect answer. All right. The most ridiculous thing you have done to try to impress a crush.
Oh no. That is a good question too. Um, I don't know. I am not smooth. I'm just not. I'm such an introvert in so many ways and so hyper analytical in so many ways that when I'm trying to impress somebody, it just does not go over the way that I think it will. Um, so my go-to now is to just be myself and be weird and awkward. And if they don't like that, that's it's not gonna work. But I think I don't know. I'll just say the first time I ever gave somebody my phone number, I was so nervous. It was in high school. I had had a crush on this guy for forever, and
Huh?
one of my friends convinced me to give him my number, and I like wrote it down on a piece of paper. And he's sitting in the cafeteria in the lunchroom, and I like walked up. I don't even think I said anything, or I said like, "Here's my number," or something like that, and like threw it at him, and
Oh,
walked away. Uh, yeah, and
that's adorable.
that's yeah, yeah, I I'm just not very smooth at all.
I know. I don't think anyone is smooth when it comes to trying to impress somebody,
I don't
especially
yeah,
a crush.
there's some people that I'm just like, how are you this like calm and collected and when you communicate with this person that you're like, wow, you're beautiful and then I just crumble. There's
Yeah.
no. I
Like,
just get really quiet, which is not my normal thing. I'm usually very talkative.
no, I
I
definitely
get
agree
quiet.
with you. I'm definitely like the quiet type that's like, right now, how am I supposed to like communicate and be like,
Yeah,
all
you're like
right,
mind bending. You're like,
yeah,
okay,
ooh, all right. If he
notice
looks at
me.
me 3 times, I'll come up to him and talk to him.
Yep, yep.
That's all it takes.
That's how I am too. And then nothing ever happens because of that, because I just never say anything or communicate. Yeah, good times.
Gosh, gosh, my usual problem is just like, all right, the chances of this guy having a girlfriend, probably more
Yeah.
chances like not in my favor. And usually I'm right. And I'm like, damn, I can at
Yep.
least try.
Yeah. See, I think that, and then I just don't
We gotta try
try. I should.
sometimes.
I know. I really
Because
should.
I mean, like you tried so far, and you are now part of record company. You have a brand new song coming out on Friday. I am wrapping
Yeah.
this back around to the music,
Yeah. Let's hear
obviously.
it. Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna change the words on this question, which will be like the last fun one.
Okay.
What would be a bad advice to someone who's starting to get into the industry?
Ooh, to care what other people think. Can that was actually one of the first things. I was living with a bunch of artists in Denver, and I was talking about how I just really wanted to do this. I wanted to do dance music. I wanted to do top lining, and I wanted to do my own project. But I was like, how do I get from here to there? You know, there's such a big gap. And one of my friends was like, you care way too much what people think. This is going to chew you up and eat you alive if you do not shift that perspective. And obviously, you want to take critique and you want to take feedback that
Yeah.
is, when you ask for it. But yeah, just same thing with like social media. Just don't let yourself be consumed with other people consuming your art or consuming your presence, I guess. Because in the industry, you're promoting yourself just as much as you are, and marketing yourself just as much as you are your music. And that's hard. It's a lot of pressure.
Yes.
And yeah, I think just take care of your brain. Bad advice. We're going back to bad advice.
Yes, yes. This is
Ignore
bad advice.
ignore mental health. Um, care about what other people think, and don't trust your gut. There you
Perfect. Oh my
go.
gosh.
Bad advice. There you go.
Yeah, the original question was like bad advice for a kid's first day at school.
Oh,
That
well,
was the
that's pretty
original.
comparable. There you
Yeah.
go. Stepping into the industry is absolutely like walking into high school on the first
Yeah.
day, and you don't know a damn person. Yep.
That is true. Well, now we're coming towards the end of this. I definitely want to say thank you for being with me
Yeah.
here and chatting with
Thank you
me.
for having me.
So I definitely want to make sure that everybody knows. I'm going to repeat it. Yeah, the song comes out Friday. When are we expecting to see an album or an EP?
I am, yeah, so it will be an EP. So we dropped Control in June. We're dropping Mania in July. We have another one coming out next month that I am so, so excited for with the
Ooh,
music video.
oh, ooh,
Another one, yes.
extra
And then,
bonus.
yeah, and I'm really excited about the music video. It's one that as soon as we wrote it, I knew exactly what I wanted the music video to
Ooh,
look like,
I
which
love those.
is
I
so
love
new
those
to me.
moments.
Yeah, so new. And then EP is sometime in September.
Ooh, so I'll make sure to have
It's my
everyone.
birthday month. Gotta
Also,
celebrate. Yeah.
wait. So September. Trying to think of horoscopes. What is that? That's like
Virgo.
you're a Virgo. Okay, all right.
I
I'm a,
am a Virgo through and through. It is.
all right. I'm a Capricorn, so we definitely can be about 5 at least.
Yeah, we're compatible. We can be
All right.
friends. That's great.
I like to hope so. Especially after this. Where can we find you?
Every on every social media platform, it is at I am Soundr, and that's sound with an R on the end. And then Spotify, it's under Soundr. Oh, that's music.